What's up, everybody? So today, I'm going to be telling you guys the fancy schmancy behind-the-scenes story to the song you have probably never heard, called Distraction. Now, if you have heard Distraction, it's weird, but here's what you don't know. It's actually awesome, and I'm going to tell you why. The story starts back in January 2018. My parents had just celebrated their 25th anniversary. The problem is, they actually hadn't celebrated it yet. So, my sister, myself, and her husband Ben sat down to come up with an idea for what kind of celebration we could throw for them, because 25 years of marriage is kind of a big deal. So we sat down, we were talking through different ideas, what we were gonna do, different ideas were thrown out there. The concept of a surprise party was thrown in the mix. Problem was, I felt like surprise parties are super boring because they all happen the same exact way, and it's kind of cliched at this point. So I was like, I like the concept of a surprise party in that, like, they have no idea it's coming, and then it's like a big, like, surprise. But I was like, what if we do that, we should rebrand it. We should do it different, something that people haven't done before, or at least don't do very often. And so I had an epiphany, and this is what it was. I said, what if we have my parents over for dinner to celebrate their 25th anniversary, because we were terrible children and we didn't do anything. So I was like, what if we just tell them, look, we didn't do anything, we feel bad, come for dinner. So they come to my place for dinner. Now, there's not a lot of windows where I live, so that gave me the opportunity for, after they show up for dinner, everyone showed up outside and waited for me to signal them to come in. So then, the next step was after dinner, I bring them into my studio room, and I showed them a new song that I'd made, and in that period of time, everyone came in, and they set up the party, so when people came out, boom, party. That was the plan. The problem with that plan was that there had to be a song that my parents had never heard that I made to distract them. Now, originally, I was just going to do a song that I had on my list of songs that I wanted to make. And so I sat down to do that, but the problem was, I couldn't really push the creative process on that. I was like, stumped. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do for these songs, and I feel like I'm just freaking out trying to get it out in this certain time frame. And I don't know if you've ever had experience with that, but the creative process sometimes is something that just can't be pushed. And that's just how it is. It's really unfortunate. It really sucks. But I kept thinking, racking my brain, like, what am I going to do for this song? And this is when it struck me. This song does not have to be good. At all. All it has to be is long and loud. Easy peasy. So I was like, okay, this is going to be a hoot. This is going to be great. So I sat down at the whiteboard and I started writing out this random list of genres that I could flow through and styles that I could mimic all in one hodgepodge of a song. And it went from, I was like, okay, soft acoustic starting, going into a whistle solo, going into hard rock with some kazoos. I was all over the place. It was crazy. So I got this list and I was like, okay, now we need lyrics. So I was like, okay, what am I going to write about? What is the song gonna be about? It doesn't have to be about anything, but the lyrics have to do something. And then I was like, wait, no they don't. They could be whatever I want them to be. This is art, and this is music, and I have the right to make it any way I please. So that was when I was like, you know what? I'm gonna write lyrics that sound like they make sense, that feel really emotional, like they're tied with something that I'm struggling with, even though they mean nothing. And the one common thread in all of it was I was like, I'm going to call the song Distraction. And thus, I just brought every single verse and every different way I wrote it, brought it back to the word distraction at the end of the verse, even if it didn't seem like it made sense with anything. And let me tell you, the results were awesome. I was like, this is great. I don't know how I'm writing this. Obviously it's crap, but it's also kind of not. It's pretty awesome. Not to toot my own horn, because I didn't think I was a great songwriter, so honestly, I was just shocked that it was working. So I was like, okay, I've got the song structure, I have the lyrics, now I just have to record it. So at this point, I was about the night before the party, and I was like, oh crap, I really gotta get this done. So I spent pretty much all night, I was up till maybe 4 or 5 in the morning, I think, recording this song, and I got most of it done that night. I was on fire. I was going crazy. I was also very tired, though. So yeah, I got almost all of it done that night, finished the rest of it up in the morning, and there were some things that I felt like I could have done better, but you've probably experienced this too if you've ever tried recording yourself, is you keep trying to tweak these little things here and there, and before you know it, you're actually kind of making the song worse than it was before. And so you kind of got to reach a point where you're like, you know what, this is good where it's at, and I'm going to keep with that. And so that's the point that I reached. Also, I just kind of ran out of time. Then, the party came. My parents came, we had dinner, I showed them the song. Now, the funny thing was, obviously, they did not know that this is a joke song. They did not know that I was literally calling it Distraction because it was a distraction. All they thought is, our son is really struggling with some random obscure thoughts and this is the best way he's processing it. Which meant that they're like, what do we say because it's not that great? All the while I was just like, they don't know what to say, it's so funny. And so my dad, trying to be as encouraging as he could be, said, well, I do see what you were going for, you know, with the symbolism and distraction. And in my mind I'm like, you don't even know. But it went on. The only other thing that they really commented on was how long it was, because it was 6 minutes long, which is long for a song, but it's very long for a song that's about nothing. And so it got to the point where they're like, well, it is kind of long. And I was like, yeah, I know. So they were completely oblivious. They had no idea until we walked out the door, the party was set up, and everything went from there. So that's the story into how Distraction came to be. If you have not listened to it and you're watching this video, go listen to it. And if you have heard the song and are watching this video, listen to it again, because I guarantee you it's going to strike you a little bit different now that you know the reason it was being written. So yeah, that's a little behind the scenes of the song. Thanks for watching. I'm going to link the lyric video that I put up to Distraction right here. So click that. Otherwise, there's also this video here. This is good, so do that. Or subscribe. Do what you gotta do. And thanks for watching this video. So have a good one.